All right, so I'm Greta from the Student Music Network UK, and if you'd like to introduce yourself to viewers, however you'd like.
Yeah, lovely to meet you, by the way. My name's Stephen O, and I'm a singer-songwriter from Hertfordshire.
It's very nice to meet you too. I have a couple questions for you today. First off, how have you been? What have you been up to? Have you been doing anything fun this week?
Yeah, cool. I'm on tour at the moment with a musical. I tour with the company of Les Miserables, and I started that in like October, and I'm on tour with them until January. So we are in Norwich now for another 3 weeks. So
Very cool.
life consists of going back and fro from the show, really.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, um, I've done it. I probably have done the show about 150 times now. I think if we're, and it's like 3 hours long. It's intense. It's intense to do, but that's
Yeah,
kind of
absolutely.
what my job
Yeah.
consists. Um, and I bring the guitar with me, and I catch what I don't catch, and that's good.
Yeah, wow. The music talent stretches across multiple mediums, Very
Yeah,
interesting.
I always knew I was going to be doing musical theatre esque because that's what I trained to do. I never
Mhm.
knew I was going to write music. That was never something in the pipeline for me. And then when everybody went inside of their homes over the course of COVID, I kind of couldn't do this. I couldn't do the job that I'd lined myself up for.
Yeah.
So I found a different medium and kind of, I guess I cheated on this a little bit and I kind of fell in love with it a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fine. That's totally fine. But it's interesting how your life kind of navigated COVID in an interesting way, and it kind of allowed you to explore different parts of yourself and express a different love for music. So that's
Yeah, and
what I'm
I think
hearing.
an authentic way,
Yeah,
right? It was never
absolutely.
the this all of the songs on my EP. It's all they're all songs that I needed to write for myself more than anything, and it's cool that other people want to listen to them as well, or at least I hope that they do.
I think they should want to. They're very nice. The songs that you've released that I've seen, I'm obsessed with. I love them.
Bless you, thank you, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. So I did a little stalk on your Instagram and
Uh-huh.
I saw that you've been teasing some new music. Is that the EP that you're talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah, that's it. And teasing is it's so hard. The tools at the moment are kind of TikTok and Instagram. They're the most sort of helpful ways to get music out at the moment.
Hmm.
Um, I've been learning the ropes of how to use those apps and how to get the song out there. Um, but yeah, the track that's coming out on the 16th of September is a song called October.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I'm very, very excited for people to hear that.
Is there anybody in your life or is there an artist in your life that has inspired your music at all or throughout your life, anything like that?
Yeah, lots of people like, and they tend to always carry a guitar with them. I think that felt the most accessible to me. And a lot of them happen to be men. I think because I was watching them do it and I was like, oh, especially, and they were talking about similar situations that I would like walk to school or uni or whatever. I always had to have that kind of accompaniment. I'm not really someone that can walk. If my AirPods die, that's like the worst thing.
Yeah.
I'll just walk with my pace, so I have to find little games to play in my head until I get there. So it's more of like it opens the door for me to just be able to daydream a little bit easier. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
But the biggest influence I'd say to my writing was probably Dermot Kennedy.
Hmm.
and he's fairly new. Like I've watched him come up, which is really cool. So watching someone go from sort of like busking in Dublin and Ireland, and then watching them now do these sort of free street busking concerts, where his process at the moment is he'll just go to a city and he'll be like, oh, I'm going to be playing here today, and like 20,000 people show up, and it's all just for charity.
Yeah.
And maybe that made me go, oh, I can. When I first started writing music, it made me go, oh, I can do it. I've seen it be done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know to what scale it will be, but I know that it is possible. And then artists like Dijon,
Mm-hmm.
because they're inspiring because they're stepping outside of the box and they're going, okay, I'm going to kind of take my own route with this. Like, yes, it's sort of like inspired by Frank Ocean, but it's music I hear and I'm like, oh, I wish I was making that. And that's not my route. And I stay in my corner in my own side of the field.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I can feel it, and I'm jealous. And there's no one else who should be supporting at the moment, really. Like Bon Iver, he's supporting them, and their music does exactly the same thing. You just you listen to like Bon Iver stuff, and I don't know what he's saying sometimes.
Yeah, true.
Things inside my brain. Felt that with Dijon, and I was like, oh, you're bringing it into a whole other place. So that affects my songwriting, I guess, because I'm like, oh, I don't have to spell it out for people all the time. People will get it.
Yeah. That's good. That was a really good answer. Wow, that was really inspiring. So you talked a little bit about how you started in musical theater and you were pretty certain in working with musical theater, but then during COVID, you kind of had a realization and an exploration with creating your own music. Was there a specific moment that sparked that, or was that kind of a long-term realization for you? Or can you think of like the moment that you said, okay, well, I think I'm going to do this?
Yeah, it was my everybody experienced those really darker parts of that time, and I experienced a real heavy moment of that. And I remember I was moving house at the time, so that was quite potent to me as a person, not even my songwriting, but would come out as time went on. And I remember I was sat on my mum's bed, just in the dark, just sort of like playing stuff and trying, and just like that's what I needed to do. It wasn't with any intention to release it. I was never going to show my friends it. And this was, meanwhile, my sister was on TikTok all the time, and I didn't understand what that was. And she would just be sat on the sofa pissing herself, and because she'd be scrolling and watching these 30-second clips. Like back then, you couldn't even post a minute or something.
Mm-hmm.
And now explaining like theories on string theory,
yeah.
4 minute long. And so I wrote something, and I liked it, and I've always been, through the whole process of this, just press and record on like voice memos. That's the style which I've written, and it started from the beginning. I never had a laptop or learned how to produce. I'll put my hands up and say that's not my bag. I know I would sit there for hours and hours and
mm-hmm.
And maybe I'll get there. Maybe I'll get to that point as time goes on, and I think, oh, this is how I now choose to express myself. But I wrote this song in my mum's room, and I was like, oh, I like that. And I'm someone who, every time they picked up the guitar, and I've been playing guitar since I was like, properly since I was like 13. And every time I tried to write a song or voice how I was feeling, my toes would curl, I'd just cringe. It'd be like, oh, I don't want to hear that out loud again. And I would just put it back. Like I could make up lovely little bits on the guitar, and I could just sit there for hours, and time would just go. But to add words to that was something I didn't feel like I was capable of. And then my sister was like, "Why don't you put your music out? Why don't you like set up like a TikTok?" She was like, "People do it all the time." And she was like, and she'd been listening to what I've got, and I would like play bits for her. So I was like, "Is this good?" Because there's no sort of reference point.
Mm-hmm.
And so I put a lot of it down to her, for just go and throw something at the wall and see what sticks. And she's 2 years younger than me, but she's so cool. And so yeah, and I started from there, and these sort of 30-second videos, and then I would just sort of post ideas, and that went on and on and on. And then somebody one day dropped a message in my Instagram account and was like, "Do you have management?" And I was like, "This is a hoax." I was like, "This person is like a scam or a sponsor," and so I just deleted it. And then the same guy messaged my sister, and my sister was like, "Who is this guy?" And I was like, "I'm gonna have to message him because it's weird now. He's messaging my family."
Yeah.
And I was working in a factory at the time, because this was a COVID sort of went on a little bit more. And he was like, "Do you have management?" And we sort of started a conversation from there. And these song ideas from TikTok became demos. And then I was suddenly in sort of rooms in London with people that could actually work the computers that I couldn't. And it's all gone from there, really. That's not what you asked. But
No, I like it. I mean, I think I can speak for all of us that we're happy that you responded to him, and we're happy that your music is out because we appreciate it. Um, a final question I have for you is, do you have anything that you'd like your listeners and fans to know about your music that they might not?
what about my music that they might know? That just that I really can't wait to start playing it all live. And to if you have that's such a difficult question because it's also exciting. And I'd say yeah, if you I really read it all. So if you like the music or something rings true with you and you feel like you want to share it, like my inbox is always open, and so the comment section of my TikTok, and I really do appreciate all the love that comes through that. And it is also personal. So just know that I do it for myself, don't get me wrong, but for other people as well. And what else would I like them to know? That I really just that I can't wait to start playing the stuff live and to come along if you see the shows, and if they're about, yeah, come and hang and listen, and there's lots more to come. I'm very excited to share it all.
Awesome. Yeah, sounds good. And would you like to say your handles so people can find you?
Yeah, I think on Instagram I'm Stephen O Hall. I think that's what I am. If I'm not that person, then enjoy following that person. Um, on TikTok, I'm Stephen O Music, and just Stephen OH is how I would say it.
Okay.
On Apple Music.
Okay. Thank you so much for doing this interview with me. I'm really happy to have met you, even if it's digitally, and I'm excited for everything that you're going to do in the future.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.